Hey guys, Gherkin here, and this is going to be the first of hopefully quite a few videos just showcasing the Overpower 8 legendary and pearlescent weapons in Borderlands 2. Maybe a couple of Seraph weapons too if they turn up interesting. Seraph weapons in my opinion are a little bit pants, but some of them are quite fun. But I thought I'd kick it off with the fan favourite, the infamous conference call. And we were lucky enough to get our hands on 4 of these, all of them except from the electric one, which I'm not too upset about. Electric's probably my least favourite elemental. I know some people like it, but it doesn't really float my boat. But as for the raw stats, it follows the fairly typical pattern of weapons between 61 and Overpower 8. If you want to know how powerful a weapon is at Overpower 8, have a look at it at level 61 and times the base damage by 10, and you're going to end up roughly in the ballpark. And these, as you'll see, kind of rotate around the 5 times 20,000 mark for base damage. The rest of the stats are going to be obviously pretty much the same as they are at any level, except for that elemental damage, which is obviously going to be a lot higher. And that's 141,000, which is quite high, but fairly typical for Overpower 8 elemental weapons. How did we get this to drop? We were quite lucky, I think, in that we got 4 of them to drop. We got this from the Warrior, which is kind of the classical way to get them. But what I would say is we did not do it from the Warrior after we had defeated him once already. What we did was we had a game which had been reset, the story missions had been reset, which I wanted to do so I could go back through and get the Overpower 8 unique weapons from certain missions, as well as get the Grog nozzle on my account because I didn't have that and it's kind of annoying me. But when it got to the mission to go and kill the Warrior, what I did was make sure there was more than one of us and went in, and if any weapons drop, then what you can do is get the other person to pick them up, and then when you dashboard, it won't count as you having killed the Warrior, but it will save and quit for the other person and they'll get to keep that weapon. And the reason it's a good idea to do this is that the Warrior on the story mode mission will almost always drop a legendary every single time you kill him. If he doesn't, he'll drop a purple head customization for whatever reason. Sometimes he'll drop the handsome Jack head for some reason, which is a little bit strange because it's just before you kill Handsome Jack and get the Handsome Jack head off him. But more often than not, he will drop a legendary weapon. Sometimes he drops 2, in fact. We managed to get him to drop a legendary weapon and then a legendary class mod on top of that. And most of what he drops are Impaler shields, Volcano sniper rifles, leech grenades, and the conference call. And we got a conference call every probably about 1 in 5 times. And we farmed him for probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours until we kind of got bored and just gave up. But we got those 4 items quite a few times over, and in the end we kind of accepted that the chances of us getting anything else were probably going to be fairly low in comparison. But those conference calls are notoriously kind of tricky to farm after you've already beaten the story mode. So if there are 2 of you and you're willing to reset your missions, or one of you hasn't already completed the game, then definitely recommend trying that. Don't worry if you've got to an overpower level and you want to reset your missions, it doesn't reset your overpower level. You can just reset your story missions and it won't affect that. But that's about it. What I'm going to try and do is just do these videos as the weapons come in. I've actually just stopped playing and we got quite a few pearlescents dropped randomly from the loot midgets actually, so I should have quite a few videos on the way on these Overpower 8 weapons, as well as I'm going to try and carry on with the raid bosses. Done Master G, so I'll try and put that video up at some point. Anyway, I hope this is vaguely interesting and I will see you next time.